Okay, guys. So this is the pathway I built uh, for our first week of instruction. And the thing about making a pathway is you have to first build all the pages. And so this is what your sandbox is for. Your sandbox is meant for you to play around in, kind of like you're playing in a sandbox. And then you can copy this stuff later. You can also share pathways to your um, Forsyth County collaborative groups. So notice what I'm trying to do here is this is my introductory overview. Um, we've been discussing the modes in class, and so I was continuing that um, content teaching. So me, I try to be funny a little bit in my posts, and I don't know, I just love GIFs, and they're easy to embed. Here's my overview. I'm keeping it very, very simple. I'm not overdoing it with color. Um, I have a table, and making the table too, like you might start to see when you break it down to how they should do it. Am I overdoing it? Like I definitely was overdoing it, but last week I was feeling like I had to get this content in so I could get the kids prepared for the AP exam. So I was kind of feeling like I needed to have more content than I really needed to. Like, for example, sorry, my dog is. When I got feedback from the kids, because I'm always trying to get feedback from them, one of the big things they said is if it had been one essay, it wouldn't have felt as overwhelming. So that's another thing. Sometimes you have to find that balance. So you use the when you add something to your sandbox. If you were to add something, you're going and you're adding via a page. And then within the page, I add the content. I click rich content, and then I build within there. So when I'm talking about things like extra, extra large, that's this. If I want to add an embed code, I click that, and then I put the embed code in, and then I click that again, and I keep working. So anyway, um, here's my lesson. I broke it up into two parts. I was just trying to go over the modes. So it's not like a huge amount of content they need to do, but I'm also trying to build in this AP practice. And also, my goal is getting them to understand how to build arguments and do it stylistically. So here I'm using my Flava. Notice extra, extra large, then extra large. Notice I'm not overdoing it with color. I have a short video. I felt weird just putting this in because it's 5 minutes. So when kind of my rule is 3 minutes, I require. If it's over that, I might give them a little information like this is optional or feel free to skim this. Um, here I try to build the overview of the content very similarly as well, but notice I'm breaking it up. Um, my content that I incorporate, I have really vetted. I guess is the best word. I make sure it's good, solid content. I don't just grab the first thing that comes up on Google. This was the best video I could find that I thought was the best instructional tool, but it was very long. So, again, I've added that, but if they just read these two things, they've got the content very quickly and specifically. And so I probably, to improve this, could have recapped. Definitely to improve, I think I should have made two pathways, one for exemplification and one for definition, and broken it up into smaller parts. It really is, the key is about the chunking. Um, Now, as part of their preparation for their discussion, I made an assignment where they had to um, post something, and their posting was annotations. So, again, I try to keep it simple, and then I've designed what I want them to do. And, I designed this from scratch. Everything that is in the It's Learning page is embedded um, in this graphic organizer, which actually became a lifesaver when It's Learning was down because I could literally send a link to this through Remind and they had the content and the activity. Um, and here, when I designed this, I also, um, when I click Add File, I click Google Drive, and then you can literally find whatever your thing is, and then you would click Make a copy for each student, and it becomes a template. And so it helps guide them too. So here is a rich text page that I created. And notice that I break the discussions apart. So if you look in my sandbox, I have a huge amount of discussion rooms to be able to build this one page. So that's the other thing about pathways is they can feel a little tedious your first couple of times, but really once you get used to it, a well-designed pathway will be your friend. Uh, they're great. I wanted there to be these short multiple choice tests. And I have access to all kinds of really 6, 8 question multiple choice tests that reinforce the skills that they need to use on the exam. So I actually built these from scratch. I typed in the questions and the answers, built it from scratch. But now I have this electronically. Um, is it necessarily academically honest proof or dishonesty proof? No, I definitely don't think so. But I don't really take these and grade them. So if they choose to cheat on them, it's their loss because I allow it to give them the information. I tend to grade more of the overview. How many of the things did you do? How many of the things did you achieve? I go in and give feedback if I feel like they're missing something. When you're building your pathway in your sandbox, you literally click. Okay, so you would add your pathway, learning path. Okay. And then what comes up is you just add your resource, you go to course, you find the thing you want to add, and you organize it. And that's how it works. And then when you're ready to publish it, you click complete path to copy it. Once you get it right into your course, you just click copy and you find your course. And and then you've got it done. And then you can kind of embed it into your lesson plan. So when you see the pathway in the planner, so here I just insert it. So when I build the lesson planner, I use all these tools to build it to try to make it more visually interesting. And I've been following the extra large and extra large rules. Uh, so this is how you see it in a lesson plan. And then if I were to change it to student, this so it unfolds and you go through and you do things. And you can play around as a student and you can start to see how it, start to see how it looks to the kids. But all right, so that's creating a pathway.